The land where the Nephites lived and where the Lamanites lived was a land with cities, even great cities.
Such as the city of Nephi, the city of Zarahemla, the city of Bountiful, and many minor cities. At the time of the Book of Mormon, we have some major cities that were flourishing in Mesoamerica. We have the pre-classic site of El Mirador, which was a major city, and we have some of the cities that are more familiar to people, such as Palenque, Tikal, which were beginning to flourish.
So cities there were, and there had to be a corresponding population.
Probably the greatest city in Mesoamerica that's widely recognized is Teotihuacan in Central Highland, Mexico.
Teotihuacan is a city that gets its start basically about 150 before Christ, and it rises in population till about 650 after Christ, at which time it's the 6th largest city in the entire world.
Archaeological investigations there have placed the rise of that city at, interestingly, the time when Nephite migrations were coming out of the land southward in the middle of the 1st century BC.
The Nephites, as long as they were contemporary with Teotihuacan, they would definitely have known about each other.
The Nephites must have known about the Teotihuacanos because they were sort of in the middle between Teotihuacan and the major lowland Maya area.
Certainly in Mesoamerica we have lots and lots of cities that were built of stone, that were built of cement.
I think that one of the most fascinating things about Teotihuacan is that they were very well versed in the use of concrete mixed with cement.
All the
buildings in Teotihuacan were covered with a thick coat of concrete that we call Teotihuacano concrete, which is the equivalent to modern concrete.
It's a city of cement.
When there are so many people involved in such social entities of such scale as the cities, there had to have been a fairly strong government, and all the ancient civilizations were governed by kings.
The Book of Mormon peoples would have had to have operated in a culturally complex situation.
The political organization of Mesoamerica, particularly of the Maya, where we know it the best, and of what we see in the Book of Mormon, particularly for the Lamanites, have some interesting correlations. Not only do they have kings, not only do they have dynasties where there is an inheritance of the kingship, but what you find is a very loose conglomeration of different cities, each of which has their own king, but appear to be beholding to an over-king. So we have Lamoni, who is beholding to his father, who is a king of kings. That is exactly the situation that we find in Mesoamerica. One of the things that happens in Maya political organizations is that they would have a state visit, a very formal visit from one king to another. And it appears when we have Lamoni, who was supposed to show up for his father's birthday party, that we have a state visit. And when he's going to take Ammon to release his brethren, we have another very formal state visit. And it appears that these state visits that we have in the Book of Mormon are very much parallel to the texts that we have that indicate these types of state visits among the Maya.